What's going on, guys? Welcome to New Dads. My name is John and I am talking about things to do in Monterey with your kids. Alright, so I have my notes here, FYI, so if I keep looking down, that's what I'm looking at. But welcome to this video, and we're just going to jump right in. And before I do that, actually, I want to explain to you my philosophy of traveling, especially with kids. My philosophy is either spend the money or don't spend the money, right? So if you're gonna, for example, decide to make the trip to the aquarium, go to the aquarium, expect to pay a lot of money, and enjoy your whole day there. Eat at the cafe, get the whole experience. Go take a nap and then come back. Make sure you see every exhibit and read every single card. If you don't decide to do that, then I say don't spend any money, right? Pack your lunch, because the restaurant food around here is not really worth, the tourist trap prices. You could spend, $10 on a bowl of chowder and it won't be that good. So pack your lunch and enjoy the free things. For example, this awesome view right here that I have. I mean, I'm fortunate to be in this room that my company paid for, but you can get the same exact view just by walking through Cannery Row and looking at the lookout spots. All right, so I'm gonna flash that real quick so you can enjoy that. So again, you can see and you can appreciate these views without spending a single penny, right? And you can see the waves, you can see the kelp forest out there, you can enjoy the wildlife. I think a duck just dived under there and he's eating things. You'll see sea otters. Again, you can get these views without spending a penny, right? Just walk through Cannery Row and go to the lookout spots. And I think I don't know if they're ducks or they're otters or what, but anyways, you can spend, if you're like me, you can spend like hours out here just looking at wildlife. That's just my personality, I guess, right? So either spend the money, decide to go, to the aquarium and spend, if it's a family 4-pack, it's going to be $160, $100 per adult, and then $30 per kid. And enjoy it, right? So I guess that brings me to the first thing, is the aquarium. The aquarium's a cool place to check out. If you're visiting Monterey, it's just one of those places, right? I wouldn't say to design your trip around the aquarium. I don't think it's worth that. And maybe it's because I take it for granted because I'm somewhat local. I live about an hour and 15 minutes away, so we come here, 3 or 4 times a year. But I'd say if you're planning a trip specifically for the Monterey Bay Aquarium, I mean, it's got to be because your kids love, marine wildlife, and, you live in some landlocked area and you can never, go, or you don't have access to a nice aquarium. So if that's the case for you, then definitely come check it out and spend a whole day, maybe even 2, get a hotel here and do it 2 days in a row. But I'd say, if your kids aren't interested, or, even if you're forcing your kid to enjoy an aquarium, I would skip, this area altogether, actually. I would, spend my time elsewhere, like, maybe Big Sur if you're into nature. Go to John Muir up there in the Redwoods. Enjoy, San Francisco City and even in San Jose. But I think I'm veering off course a little bit. So things to do in Monterey, some other things to do in Monterey for kids, right? So I mentioned if you're going to spend the money, go spend the money, go to the aquarium. If you're not going to spend the money, just come here and enjoy the views. I think I already said that. You can, it's free. Like, that just boggles my mind. Like, you literally drive to McDonald's, pick up some food, or even Trader Joe's, whatever. Buy food and bring it out to a lookout spot just like this. There are a ton of them. If you walk, there's a park right there called San Carlos Beach Park. You can sit there and enjoy the views. Monterey actually has quite a bit of history with the the sardine packing and all of that. So you can get that history without going to the aquarium. You can just walk the streets. They'll have signs and things like that. I'm sure there's a walking tour. I know for sure there's an electric bike tour. That's another thing you can consider with your kids. You can consider kayaking on that very water that I just showed you, and you'll see the sea otters and the ducks and all of that. Sometimes I think you'll see dolphins. I think I've seen dolphins out here before. Yes, I definitely have. In fact, no, those are seagulls. So yeah, you know, come check it out. Some other things to do, just walk around Cannery Row. You know, the stopping by the arcade and spending money there and things like that, gift shops. It's not really my thing, at least not yet, until my kids start asking me for it. But there's a ton of shops down Cannery Row. And if I could, I guess, make a suggestion, you know, park on one side of Cannery Row, walk it, and then, you know, as the dad, of course, you know, run back and get the car and you know, do that. But yeah, let's see. I mean, there's a wax museum. Nothing to, I mean, if you go to the wax museum, there's an otter chilling out there. If you go to the wax museum, it's just because you, I believe you've planned too much time here. You know, if you happen to be driving through, like if you happen to be doing the 1 or Highway 1 or 101, whatever, trip, like from SoCal to NorCal, and you wanted to pick a spot to stay, I'd say Monterey is good for 1 night, maybe 2 nights, you know, but, you know, outside of the aquarium, there's not much out here. I mean, and it depends who you talk to, right? I mean, I could come up with a list of 10 things to do, but you wouldn't necessarily, it's more like fillers in my opinion. The other thing to consider is the monarch butterfly exhibits, or the sanctuary. You can Google that. It's usually in the fall time, a ton of monarch butterflies, and I haven't seen it myself because we haven't had, I mean, we've got young kids, but you know, if you get a chance to see that, it's something I want to see someday, so consider that. But yeah, I think those are the big things. You know, the top 2 is the monarch butterfly in the fall time, the aquarium if you decide to spend the money. If you don't decide to spend the money, just walk along Cannery Row, enjoy the beautiful sights. And then if you plan for too much time in Monterey, which I, you know, obviously don't recommend you to do, you can hit up the wax museum, the arcade. You can do some wine tasting. So those are the things you can do with your kids out here. Kayak, electric bikes. You can get one of those, the 4-seater family bike things. You can rent that around here. So I think those are the cool things you can do with your kids in Monterey. Hope this was helpful. And I guess just real quick, since I'm talking about this, I want to talk about or address things, you know, for the people who don't have kids. You know, technically I'm supposed to make a different video, but I'm just going to loop it into this one. So, you know, again, if you've just came here for things to do in Monterey with kids, I really appreciate you clicking on this video. Consider subscribing for more content like this. I do location reviews such as this one. I'll give you my opinion on if it's worth your time or not. Yeah, I did a video up here about the aquarium, where I also talk about, you know, should you make a trip, or I go into more depth about should you come out here just for the aquarium. So if you're into that, if you're trying to decide, click on that video. Yeah, I appreciate you coming. Consider subscribing. I also do content for new dads, or anybody with a soft spot for new dads. So if you click into my channel, you'll see a bunch of, like, you know, hospital delivery tips, tricks, things around the house, trips we've taken. So consider subscribing, and thank you. And yeah, so if you want to stick around for the things to do, the adult things to do around here, I have a list here, and it is wine taste, go golfing, go to the boutique shops, and go on 17 Mile Drive. So those are the 4 things. Just wine tasting, I mean, I don't think this area is known for wine tasting per se, but it is somewhat local to Napa, so I'm sure they have a bunch of wine from there and the Central Coast. I don't even know if that's a thing. Actually, yeah, I know there's some wineries around Santa Cruz around here. So some local wines, if you're into that thing, a bunch of different tasting rooms. That's really good if you're into that kind of thing. Golf, I mean, you've got Spanish Bay, you've got Pebble Beach, you've got some more municipal public type courses that you can hit up around here. It does get kind of rainy out here sometimes, like today is a rainy day, so just make sure you check out the weather before you come here. Boutique shops, there's a ton of them. I mean, in my opinion, it's eye candy. You know, I'm not gonna buy like a $5,000 painting or anything, but you know, if you run out of things to do, or if you just like boutique type shops, you know, if you're from like Laguna Beach and you know you like walking that strip, or if you're from like, or if you want to check out Carmel, if you like little boutique type shops, there's a ton around here, so hit them up. There's you know, the everyday economy type boutique shops, and then there is the more high-end, you know, art galleries and you know, more high-end things. And then last but not least, 17 Mile Drive. That's a cool little drive. I mean, I've done it 3 times, at least 3 times now. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that for kids, just because, you know, you could spend a good 3-4 hours just driving, getting out of the car, taking pictures, and then, you know, doing that over and over. There's some nice lookout spots and, you know, points to stop. But I think that's more of an adult thing. I don't think, you know, your school age kids would appreciate it. I don't think your high school kids would appreciate it. I don't necessarily think your college age kids would appreciate it. It's more of like an adult kind of thing if you're stressed out from work. Awesome to come out here and just enjoy the views, enjoy the ocean sounds, which I'm not sure if this is picking up or not. But yeah, hope this was helpful to you. If you still have any questions, feel free to comment below. And you know, we come out here, like I said, 3-4 times a year, so I'm happy to look into something for you. Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching this video. There's a sea otter there that I want to show you, and I don't know if this lens will be able to capture it, but I'm gonna try anyways. All right, so I think he just took a dive. He dove somewhere, but let's see if I can find him on the camera. Let's see, where is he? Yeah, I can't find him anymore, but let's see. You see the yeah, no, I can't. He must have taken a dive, he or she. But I mean, this is gorgeous, right? There's definitely something going on over there towards the right side. There is a group of seagulls like up there. I don't know what they're up to. They're just hanging out, chilling. Might be able to hear them. Let me open this window actually. Oh, there he is. He's back up. The sea otter is right in the middle of the screen right now. I mean, he's really far. You can't see him, but he's right there. There he is. This is as far as this lens goes. But he's just chilling. He's on his back. He's eating stuff. But yeah, I appreciate you clicking into this video and watching. Hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon.